Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm Bilal Iftikhar, Senior Superintendent of Police from Punjab Police. First of all, I thank SSDO for providing an opportunity for discussing such an important topic and providing a platform for all the law enforcement agencies to gather in one place and share their experiences and try to find out a mutual solution. I shall be giving a brief presentation on various aspects we discussed during the course of our group discussion. All relevant stakeholders, which included police from all the provinces, FIA, etc., participated very actively and provided valuable input and to curb the menace of human trafficking in Pakistan. Next. Next slide. Basically, this is the map which mainly depicts the trafficking of persons in Pakistan, which mainly goes through Taftan border in Balochistan province, from Gwadar, and in south from Karachi via Arabian Sea. Next. Now, it is very pertinent to mention here the difference between human trafficking and smuggling. And we also discussed it during the course of our discussion yesterday. Now, what is human trafficking? Human trafficking must contain an element of fraud, force, or coercion. Whereas human smuggling, there is a difference between human trafficking and smuggling. And the person, in case of smuggling, the person being smuggled is generally cooperating. In case of trafficking, persons who are trafficked are victims. Whereas in case of smuggling, the persons who are smuggled are complicit in the smuggling crime and are not necessarily victims of the crime. Similarly, smuggling does not need to involve the actual movement of the victims. Whereas in case of smuggling, the illegal entry of person from one country to the smuggling basically facilitates the illegal entry from one country to another. In case of trafficking, persons are subjected to limited movement or isolation or had documents confiscated. But in case of smuggling, persons are free to leave and change jobs, etc. In case of trafficking, persons have been forced, tricked, or coerced into labor, services, or commercial sex acts that must be working, where in case of smuggling, persons must only be in a country or attempted to enter illegally. Next. Next. Now, coming over to a recommendation. When it comes to fighting human trafficking, it takes multiple organizations working together to take down traffickers. And this includes law enforcement. Typically, we think this comes in the ambit of FIA, but members of law enforcement play a critical role in taking down perpetrators and rescue victims of human trafficking. While human trafficking is often framed as a social justice issue, it is also a criminal act. Raising awareness is therefore very critical, and law enforcement agencies should take part in catching the perpetrators. Police officers cannot uphold human trafficking laws if they not know what they are and what their role is. So with this, training of officers down to the grassroots level is very mandatory. Similarly, victims and traffickers should not be treated alike. In normal circumstances, we think that a victim may also be, we presume that the victim may also be a prostitute. But with recent studies and our discussion yesterday, we have decided, or we have come to a conclusion that victims and traffickers should never be treated alike. Then police should act as a spearhead against human trafficking, and high-profile cases should be transferred to FIA. It is a typical thinking that human trafficking is just the ambit of FIA. But with our discussion yesterday, we decided that the police should spearhead, because police is present everywhere, and there is a shortage of IOs in case of FIA. So it is very pertinent that all law enforcement agencies should be coherent in fighting this menace. Then criminal record of human traffickers to be integrated with NADRA to identify their criminal history. Then there should be an improved focus on both cross-border and internal traffic within the province. We are focusing on cross-border human trafficking, but what about intra-trafficking of humans within the provinces? We should be focusing on that as well. Next. Then data is available in case of cross-border trafficking on the FIA website, but no data is available regarding trafficking within the province, between various provinces. Then there is a district intelligence committee which is working in every district, which comprises members from police, administration, and other departments, but it does not include FIA personnel, which should be included because they gather monthly and they exchange very important information among each other. Then there should be a national hotline to be established for reporting human trafficking, just like we have 1-5 in case of police. Then we should encourage local schools or of the district to include human traffic in their curricula. Then we should actively use social media platforms to raise awareness about human trafficking. Next. Next. It's okay. Okay, you can read this.
Thank you very much. We have slightly gone over. Especially slide, please. My name is Bilal Aslam Khan. I'm Deputy Director, FIA, Anti-Human Trafficking Circle, Lahore. So I'll just run through this slide because time is very short, and I think we are just... So first of all, I think if we talk about the way forward, if we look at the UN Sustainable Development Goals 2015, Goal 10 says that there should be safe migration. And this also is complemented in the Trafficking in Person Act 2018, and later it was further complemented by the Rules 2020. In our view, there should be gender equality and women empowerment, and that can be brought through migration governance. There should be, as far as law enforcement is concerned, the challenges we are facing is they can be improved with modernization, digitization, and better technology for law enforcement agencies, which includes police, FIA, border security forces, intelligence agencies, and investigation agencies. There should be district to, collaboration and coordination should be between from district to. Okay. So, as I'm asked by the management to open the podium for the question-answer session.
My name is Adnan. My name is Adnan. I'm a Fulbright scholar, and my question is, we have been hearing about the lack of implementation, or we can say the very poor implementation of the laws for combating trafficking in persons. As a law enforcement agency, sir, do you have any kind of deadline by which you will be able to achieve some targets, like reducing trafficking by 50% by 2025? Or do you have any kind of targets set by which you will be able to ensure that police is collaborating with the FIA by 100%, because there is a lack of collaboration in all these things? If you don't have any, kindly make one, because any action plan without a deadline is bound to fail. So I would like to have your opinion on this one, sir.
Thank you very much for your question. First of all, you need to understand the mechanism which was explained yesterday from this stage, that we are following the TIP report, and there are guidelines. There are 2,000 standards for law enforcement agencies to implement, and according to that standards, we compete with ourselves, where we were standing last year and where we are going in next year. For example, in 2000 and even in 2021, the Pakistan was on Tier 2 watch list. But in 2022, with the efforts of all the respective departments, we came out of the watch list, and now we are on Tier 2. So there is a gradual progress on this front, number one. Number two, trafficking couldn't be finished with a deadline, not even in Pakistan, but yesterday it was said not even in USA and in other advanced and the developed countries. It's a consistent effort of the law enforcement. With the force, you can't curb such menace because there are people, there are families who want to send their loved one abroad as an economic migrant. Nobody wants them to suffer at the hand of the traffickers. So it's a continuous struggle. The trafficker, they are working here in Pakistan. Traffickers, they are working at the end destinations. They are present in Italy, Greece, UK, USA, everywhere. So until unless it's a combined effort, not only at our level, but in collaboration with different countries, this menace can't be controlled. As far as your planning is concerned, we have our national action plan. Previously, it was ending at 2021, and now we have again made a 5-year plan in collaboration with UNODC, and we are working to achieve those targets. So it's a systematic effort. Previously, it was done only by FIA, but now all the provincial police departments, they are working with us. And in future, we will establish similar teams who can identify the victims, not only at the international airports, but at the borders. And the IOs from the police department, they will investigate on the same pattern to identify the human smugglers. So a planned, systematic effort is being carried out. But the thing is, without the cooperation of from the NGOs, civil societies, from the legislatures, as well as from the society, there are pockets. If you are from Punjab, you must be knowing that there are Gujarat, Mandi, Bahauddin, Gujranwala, flux of people are going there over the centuries. In Karachi, Thatta, in other province, at the border checkpost, people move across the borders. So it's very difficult to give a deadline. But the thing is, you work with good intention to tackle this menace. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any next question, please?
I'm Shkila Bano from Laya. Law enforcement agencies have networks at grassroots levels. ठीक है? इसके लिए ज़रूरी ये भी है कि पब्लिक को एट लार्ज अवेयरनेस देना ज़रूरी है. लोग जिस तरह से डिप्रेस हैं, वो चाहते हैं कि हम चले जाएं किसी तरह बाहर. तो देयर शुड बी मैकेनिज्म कि जो टूर ऑपरेटर्स हैं या वीज़ा इशूइंग एजेंसीज हैं, उनका एक पोर्टल हो, लाइसेंस्ड हैं, दे आर रजिस्टर्ड, ताकि लोग घरों में बैठे हुए, आजकल सोशल मीडिया है और डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे, तहसील लेवल पे ग्रुप्स बने हुए हैं जिसमें डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स के लोग भी होते हैं. तो उससे ज़रिए भी इंफॉर्मेशन जानी चाहिए कि यू कैन चेक इट थ्रू दिस पोर्टल, ताकि एट लीस्ट लोगों को थोड़ा सा तो सिक्योर फील हो, अदरवाइज दे आर ट्रैप्ड.
थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन. इसका जवाब मैं इस तरह दूंगी कि टेक्नोलॉजी की यूज़ हम पुलिस अब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कर रही है. जैसे कि पहले अगर हम क्रिमिनल सिस्टम की बात करें तो हमारे पास क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड को भी डेटा मेंटेन हम लोग नहीं करते थे. हमारे जो क्रिमिनल्स थे उनका रिकॉर्ड भी मेंटेन नहीं किया जाता था. लेकिन विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम, अगर आपका कोई पंजाब पुलिस या सिंध पुलिस के किसी पुलिस स्टेशन में कभी विजिट करें तो आपको आइडिया होगा कि हम एटलीस्ट अब सबसे पहले ये डेटा ही जो है वो इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हैं. और अब आगे जो कल की प्रपोजल्स थी उसमें पहली प्रपोजल ये थी कि इसको सिर्फ हम प्रोविंसेस तक ना रखें बल्कि इसको सेंट्रलाइज्ड करें कि इर्रिस्पेक्टिव कोई केपी में है या कोई सिंध में है, कोई पंजाब में है, वो सबको एक हम इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम बना दें ताकि वो जिसको चाहे वहाँ से क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड उसका चेक कर सकते हैं. जहाँ तक आपकी बात है इमिग्रेशन और जो पासपोर्ट्स वगैरह को चेक करने का है, उसको प्राइमरीली तो FIA चेक कर रही होती है. लेकिन अगर हमारे पास बिंग पुलिस ऑफिसर्स भी हमारे पास कोई चीज़ आती है तो हम फॉर्जरी के जो है उसमें हम उसको बिल्कुल कन्विक्ट भी करवाते हैं, उसको हम चालान भी करते हैं. दैट इज़ अ गुड सजेशन कि उसको जो है हम एक पोर्टल सिस्टम पे ले आए ताकि हमारे पास एक सिस्टम हो जिसको कि चेक किया जा सके कि आया ये चीज़ है कि नहीं. तो इंशाल्लाह पॉइंट वेल टेकन और इंशाल्लाह इसको हम टेकअप करेंगे विद द सीनियर्स और इंशाल्लाह इसको हम इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you. Next question, please.
I would like to add one thing in this respect, ma'am. Basically, awareness in the society, that is very important. But unfortunately, when a migrant is deported from any Western country or anywhere else, when he goes back, the same smuggler contact their family and assures them that we will send your person again at the same price without taking any other price. And unfortunately, in heinous crime, where somebody lost his life at Greece or international borders or somewhere else, even then, from the same village, from the same clan, they said, oh, at least he is able to send us to the Greece border. So let's pay him and avail this chance. So we are focusing on awareness, and for awareness, we have established with the help of Deputy Commissioner and police, the committees has been established for the awareness at the district level, so that this mindset could be changed. Unless this mindset is not changed, we can't bring any change. Thank you.
Any next question, please?
Yes, I have a question. This is Sayyida Marvi Rashdi, Member Provincial Assembly FIM. मेरा सवाल जिसकानी साहब से होगा. Sir, होता ये है कि I, as a public representative, since police is directly answerable to me because I'm a public representative and I deal with my constituency, my people. So don't you think police is not easily accessible to the public? अगर मैं ये बात कह रही हूँ, I'm a public representative, मैं MPA हूँ. If I cannot get the access to the police easily on the time, then public का क्या होगा? Number one. Number two, don't you believe that there should be some trainings for the police, especially to teach them ethics, the basic rule of law, how to respond to the victim, how to respond to the public representative? क्योंकि हम अगर, if we feel the difficulties to reach out to the police and other law enforcement agencies, तो public का क्या हाल होगा? क्योंकि ये तो SSDO ने आप लोगों को, वर्दी वालों को हमारे सामने बिठा दिया है, वरना तो आप कयामत के दिन हमें सामने मिलते और जवाब दे होते. So kindly आप लोगों, बहुत शुक्रिया. क्योंकि kindly I want you to reply कि पुलिस की ethics की trainings होनी चाहिए या नहीं होनी चाहिए. आप मुझे specially respond करिएगा. Thank you.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for such a insightful and rather moral question. And there is no denying the fact that if police is not accessible even to a street person, let alone the high-ups like you, I believe that police is no more in this 21st century a law enforcement agency or a crime control agency. Police is the protector and guardian of the fundamental rights of the people. Each and every people, common man, I'm talking about common man. So far as the training of police is concerned, police is trained both in ethics and law, but every training doesn't work on everyone equally. There is a difference. So every institution is trying their best to groom their young individuals. I have been the part of training of National Police Academy, and we trained the ASPs, and most of them are here also. They have become the SPs. So every academy and every institution of the police try their best to teach the ethics that be accessible and respond quickly when people are in the middle of the trouble. So it's a fact, and I think things have changed as far as we belong to same province, but we have established many forums, human rights forums, as well as the access forums on social media. Everyone calls us without any hesitation, and we respond them, though it's not the job of a high-ups to respond each and every call, because we are not a 1-5, they are there. But even then, we try our best to respond people and try to solve their problem, and we keep in touch with them until their problem is solved. This is a big debate. I cannot summarize this into this small response, but I assure you that we are doing our best.
Thank you,
And
sir.
we will continue to do our best.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, we need synergetic efforts to increase national cooperation against trafficking. And I would like to remind also that this deadline of time is not only for the group members, but also for the audience. So please keep your questions precise and short so everyone can question them. Shanan Sahab, you want to say something?
Yeah, ma'am, I would like to add one response as far as the trafficking and smuggling is concerned. How the training is changing the scenario. Previously, when somebody is deported at the airports, we registered the criminal cases. But now, after the implementation of the new laws after 2018, we made rules and also the SOPs. Now, when someone is deported and he and she landed at Pakistan, any airport, we have established the victim facilitation centers. Over there, first of all, they are consoled, they are provided with food, and we don't register any criminal case, and just in chit-chat, we try to infer who are the agents with help you went from the Pakistan and what are their facilitator in other countries. And we let them go. We don't call them until and unless after the inquiry, some links has been established with human traffickers. Similarly, the victim facilitation center has been established at Afghan, at the border at Iran. And if you visit that center, it's a state-of-the-art we have established with UNODC.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your remarks. Sir, Shanan Sahab, do you want to contribute something very shortly?
Yes, I just want to add one thing here, which is, I think, which have been missed in this basic discussion, that we live in a third world country. And the concept that we are basically talking about is more prevalent in the first world countries. What are the two basic issues that we briefly face in it? One of it is bonded labor, and the other one is the commercial sex. Now, is the state taking the responsibility? State is providing the basic facilities to the people so that they're not allured toward that, or are they not coerced towards those things? So I think we are in the initial stages. The act has been implemented in 2018. 5 years have just passed on. The responsibility of the state to provide those facilities, gradually we will be moving towards that. And in a criminal justice system, there are other organs of the state also, the prosecution and judiciary. Yesterday, figures were pointed out that hundreds of cases have been registered in Trafficking Person Act. But when it comes to the prosecution and when it comes to the judiciary, has the conviction been done in those cases? I think we are lacking on that basic issue also. So these are my 2 cents regarding
Thank
this.
you, sir. Thank you, everyone.